King Kong vs Godzilla was the third Godzilla movie. It was released in 1962 and was the first time Godzilla and King Kong were in the same movie. So this is the making of King Kong vs Godzilla. What later became the classic King Kong vs Godzilla actually wasn't a Godzilla movie at all at first. Willis O'Brien, the animator of the original stop-motion King Kong, came up with a treatment called King Kong meets Frankenstein around 1960, where King Kong would fight a massive Frankenstein in San Francisco. He went to RKO Pictures to get permission to use King Kong for this new project. During that time, the movie's name was actually changed to King Kong vs the Ginkgo, because they believed Universal owned the rights to Frankenstein. O'Brien was introduced to the producer John Beck, who promised he would find a studio to make the movie. He took the treatment O'Brien wrote and took it to George Warfin Yates to write the screenplay. The story was slightly altered by him, and the movie's title was changed again to King Kong vs Prometheus, but the cost of stop motion is very high, so that discouraged studios from putting the movie into production. After trying to get studios overseas to accept the project, Beck got the attention of Toho, who had already been wanting to make a Kong movie for a long time, so Toho purchased the script. After Toho purchased the movie, they changed Frankenstein to Godzilla, making King Kong fight Godzilla, and they got Shinichi Sekizawa to rewrite the script written by Yates. The deals Beck did with Toho was done behind O'Brien's back, and he was never credited for the idea. He attempted to sue Beck, but lacked enough money to do that. Then, on November 8, 1962, he passed away in his home, with his wife saying that the frustration from the King Kong meets Frankenstein deal was the cause of his death. Marion C. Cooper, producer and co-director of the original King Kong, sued John Beck, Toho and Universal because he believed he literally owns the King Kong character. But the lawsuit never went through, because it turns out he was not actually the legal owner of King Kong as a character. Director Ishiro Honda wanted the movie to be a satire of Japanese television, with him saying, "People are making a big deal out of ratings, but my own view of TV shows was that they did not take the viewer seriously, that they took the audience for granted, so I decided to show that through my movie." And he also said, "The reason I showed the monster battle through a ratings war was to depict the reality of the time." This version of King Kong was massive. The original 1933 King Kong was only about 7 meters tall, which creates a problem because Godzilla was 50 meters tall, and if they kept those original sizes, that would be a pretty easy fight. So they sized up Kong to be 45 meters tall in this movie, to be able to fight Godzilla, which still made this the tallest version of King Kong ever, all the way up to 2021 in Godzilla vs Kong, where Kong was sized up for the same reason, to fight Godzilla. This time just even more sized up, because Godzilla was also way more sized up in the legendary movies. The special effects director, E.G. Tsuburaya, sent back early drafts of the script with notes, saying that he wanted the two monsters to be more funny. He wanted to do a more comical approach to also appeal to children, to be able to reach a larger audience. A lot of the battle between the two was filmed to contain humor, but a lot of the effects team didn't really agree on Tsuburaya with this approach. Even Ishiro Honda himself also wasn't a big fan of this approach, with him saying that monsters should never be used as comical characters. This was also the first movie of both of them to be filmed in color, and also the first for both to be widescreen. Toho planned to shoot in Sri Lanka at first, but they had to pay RKO roughly 80 million yen, which is $220,000 to be able to use King Kong. So they had to scale down their original production costs, and chose to shoot on the Japanese island of Izu Oshima instead. A brand new Godzilla suit was made for this movie. They made some changes to the suit to make Godzilla look more reptilian. With King Kong, the sculptors had a hard time making a design that Tsuburaya liked. The first suit was rejected because it was too fat with long legs, which the crew considered almost a cute look. A few other suits were done before Tsuburaya eventually accepted the final suit that was used in the movie. Shoichi Hirose played King Kong, and Haruo Nakajima played Godzilla. They got freedom from Tsuburaya to choreograph their own moves, and was based on moves from professional wrestling. In the movie, a giant octopus attacked before being scared away by Kong. For this, 4 real octopuses were used. They were forced to move in on miniature huts by having air blown on them. 3 out of the 4 octopuses were released after filming. The 4th apparently became Subiraya's dinner. Along with the 4 real octopuses, 2 rubber octopus puppets were made. Some stop motion tentacles were also created for the scene where the octopus grabs a native. When John Beck sold the script to Toho, he was given rights to produce a version of the movie released outside of Asia. John Beck got Paul Mason and Bruce Howard to write the new screenplay. To give the movie a more American feel, Mason and Howard decided to insert new footage that would pretend the movie was a newscast. Beck spent about $12,000 making the English version and sold the movie to Universal International for about $200,000 in April of 1963. The movie was released in Japan by Toho on August 11th, 1962. It played alongside Myself and I for 2 weeks. After it was extended to play another week, it played alongside Touring the World this time. Beck's American version premiered in New York City on June 26, 1963. In July of 2014, the Japanese version was released on Blu-ray by Toho as a part of Toho's plan to release the entire series on Blu-ray for Godzilla's 60th anniversary. Universal released the English version on Blu-ray on April 1st, 2014, together with King Kong Escapes. In 2019, the Japanese and American versions were both in the Criterion Collection, which includes all of the Showa-era Godzilla movies. A 4K remaster of the Japanese version was released in May of 2021. This was the very weird and interesting history of King Kong vs Godzilla. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.